Before we get to JMU news, it was nationally announced this morning that President Donald Trump and the First Lady, Melania Trump, were tested positive for COVID. President Trump has recently announced all gatherings, such as rallies and other campaign events, will continue online. We hear now from Chief of Staff Mark Meadows about this report.
As all of you know, the President and the First Lady tested positive for COVID-19. They remain in good spirits. The President does have mild symptoms, and as we look to try to make sure that not only his health and safety and welfare is good, we continue to look at that for all of the American people.
Earlier this week, we saw a light at the end of the long tunnel. JMU's Health Center received a 0 positive COVID case count on Monday with only 1 self-reported case. However, those numbers have since risen. Jumping to our most recent update, since the beginning of the week, JMU has received 20 new positive COVID cases. The number of quarantine and isolation beds is now at 181 out of 192. JMU's positive cumulative check is 1,514. Check out all this and more information on the Breeze's dashboard. We'll be sure to keep you updated with further updates when freshmen move back to campus on October 5th. Now let's talk about surveillance testing. This is the precaution the Health Center is taking when students switch back to in-person learning. 300 randomly selected students who have no COVID symptoms will be selected to complete a nasal swab test. To prepare for the return of students, JMU has decided to convert Logan Hall into a quarantine dorm. Students in Logan were all reassigned to other residence halls and asked to vacate the building by October 6th. Logan Hall RA had this to say.
Staff was told Thursday that we would have to move because they're using the dorm as isolation. We got a list of everywhere that had open RA spots. So we got to pick from that, but it wasn't a very extensive list. And then residents were told Monday. So it's just been downhill from there. A lot of them are moving around the quad, which I think is nice because they'll get to stay. If they have a roommate, they stay with their roommate. If they don't have a roommate, they get put with a roommate. I'm peeved because this is the 3rd or 4th time they've had us change, just our staff specifically.
Breeze TV's Shelby Walker spoke with resident advisor Kira Huff about how her job has changed since being an RA last year. She described how there has been a lack of connection with students due to COVID-19. Huff misses those random conversations she would have with different residents that stopped by the office and the relationships she would build.
You don't kind of get that deeper connection this year as you would last year because you want to be socially distant, you want to do duty in your room so nobody's coming to hang out or talk to you unless it's kind of an emergency situation.